Hello everybody, my name is Sho, welcome to my channel. Let's talk about letting go of emotions. There's a few people in my channel in the commentary boxes that have asked me the same question. But how do I really let go of those emotions? Let's move more closer into the center of the camera. How do I really let go? I've talked about a lot on this channel so far. We gotta feel the emotions. We gotta let go of the emotions. We gotta really feel them to release them, right? And I'm getting questions around how do I actually do that? How do I actually practically let go of them? Right? So let's explore that. And I'm not going to be able to give you something which your mind can grasp and go, I've got the answer. Because that's not how emotions work. When we're talking about emotions, we're talking about energy. If we're talking about energy, we've got to feel and sense the experience of life beyond the mind. So your mind wants to ask a question because it wants to get something. And what I'm sharing with you is that in order to release emotions, there's nothing to get. It's the opposite of getting. It is literally learning the opposite of the mind. The mind wants to find something, seek something, get somewhere, discover something, get something done, complete a task, execute, get somewhere that isn't here. All of that stuff is the mind. But when we let go of each and every one of those things, bit by bit by bit by bit by bit by bit, there is just a resting into your being. And it is the opening of the resting in your being which is when you can allow the emotions to be then seen, felt, uncomfortably, often, and then released. The releasing of emotions can be very subtle, and it might be that you're not even aware that it happens sometimes. It might be that it is happening anyway, but you don't realize it. Or you're too busy thinking about it, even though it is happening. But usually, what we want to do is get into a space of energetic openness. To be open, that's when the current of life can move. That's when emotions can flush through. What does then openness mean? If we want to let go of emotions, we want to be open. Now, it's easier to be open in different situations and scenarios in our life, right? If you're sitting by yourself in front of a computer, hunched over, right, focus on something intently with the mind, that's a very closed position. If we are chatting to a friend in a quiet cafe, sipping a cup of tea, in a relaxed posture, let's say I'm on a sofa, and it's somebody you know and that you're familiar with, and you're sharing something vulnerable and they can really hear you and listen to you, can you sense how different your energetic state is in that scenario versus the first scenario? You are open. You are open. Openness is how we release, let go emotions. Now, when we are more open, just killing a mosquito again. When we are open, we then get to feel what's really there. As we open, we get to be naturally more vulnerable. Openness and vulnerable, same. In a way. It's like we are feeling more vulnerable usually when we are more open. So vulnerability plays a role in this. Huge role in our capacity to let go of emotions. Vulnerability. What does vulnerability feel like for you in your life? Do you consider yourself a very vulnerable person? Do you talk about your emotions much? Are there people in your life around you right now who are quite vulnerable or open that you could point to and go, yeah, I know, I think I get what you mean with regards to openness, vulnerability. It's like speaking about the things at the edge of your mind. There's one way of describing it. There are certain things that sometimes we want to say, but we don't know, I'm not going to say that. Certain things that come to the surface and we're like, oh, I'd love to talk about that, but I'm too scared to talk about it. Or we're about to say something, but we're worried about what the other person's going to think if we say that thing. Right? Vulnerability is seeing what wants to be spoken and doing it anyway, irrelevant of what another person is going to say or not. So I'm just exploring with you here openness, because it's openness which helps emotions move and us let go. And I'm dancing around different topics purposefully because there isn't one answer I can give your mind. It's multi-dimensional, it's energetic in its nature. So how else can we let go of emotions? Practice is also a really, really powerful way to keep coming back to your body and yourself on a daily basis. Practice, a meditation practice, a yoga practice, because in those ways we quiet the outside world and we just focus inside, and we give whatever is here space to be. Space. And quite often when we start doing that, we realize that, there's quite a lot going on here. There's quite a lot going on here, guys. And then we realize that, it's scary, and we stop meditating, we don't go back to yoga, we start messing around on our phone again. Vulnerability, openness, is staying with the uncomfortable feeling even when it's uncomfortable. The way that I stay with the feeling even when it's uncomfortable for me is I bring my attention to my breath. Breath helps me stay connected to my body whilst I'm feeling uncomfortable stuff. Because breath is omnipresent. It's always here, guys. And so it can be used as a way, movement, ebbing and flowing, up and down, the sound of the breath. It allows us to stay connected. Whilst we are also, part of our attention is also with the energy and the emotions that are moving, which are quite uncomfortable. It's quite uncomfortable, guys. And I get it. Emotions are really freaking uncomfortable quite often. And so we can then suppress and push them down, or we can just be with them whilst they are being uncomfortable. Not with the intention or the goal to ensure that you clear out all of this emotion right now so it's completely gone. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying just be with whatever's alive in your body in this moment. There have been times where I've crafted my life to a point where I give myself lots and lots of free time. To some extent I still do now. So that if I do notice emotions, difficult emotions in a particular week, arising up in me, that I have space in my life to not have to go about doing things, and I can just be still. I can spend some time in practice of pranayama, or yoga, or meditation, or just relaxing, reading a book. Our well-being is deprived of in this life. We're not well beings on planet Earth right now, whatsoever. And so cultivating those moments each day or each week where you can be well, look after yourself, take yourself out on a date, or take yourself at home on a date. Just look after yourself. Giving yourself these moments, these times to be with yourself and to feel what's there and the beauty of what's there. Honouring the difficult emotions, however difficult they are, feel the beauty of that feeling. Can you feel how beautiful sadness can be? It's heart-wrenchingly difficult to feel sadness, like that pain, but at the same time so beautiful that you get to feel sadness. Grief that you loved and now you are letting go. Emotions can be and need to be honoured, deeply honoured, seen, loved, released, opened. And we must give ourselves the time in our life and our society to allow that process to happen, because the mind doesn't make it happen. You just have to create your life or surroundings or find pockets of time in your life to be open so the emotions can move. So I ask you this question as we nearly close up the video here. What can you do this week that would allow you to be a little bit more, a little bit more connected to your body and emotions? What space could you create in your life to be more well, to be more relaxed, to be more gentle, to be more aware? And take that away from this video, please. Take something away from this video. Maybe it's going for that walk. Maybe it's hanging out with that person, you know, who's a very open person, right? Maybe it's doing that thing that you've been wanting to do to look after yourself for a while. Doesn't matter what it is. It's just learning to cultivate openness more and more in our life. It is the openness which allows us to let go of emotions. This is ultimately the purpose of this video. How to let go of emotion. How do I really let go of emotions? It's not an answer for your mind. It's space you want to create in your life. I hope that really helps. Okay, I'd love to hear any thoughts that you have, and how are you going to do that this week? Drop me a comment. I want to dialogue with you, please. I'd love that. I'd love to connect with you. Amazing. So I'm sending my love from Ubud, Bali. Have a beautiful day, and yeah, peace out for now.